Okay, let's see who pops by tonight, if anyone. I think I can stay at most 30 minutes tonight. I don't have time. I gotta go to bed early, or at the very least, I need some time to myself before I go to bed. I gotta wake up fucking 9 tomorrow. Okay. Hello, Jolly Roger. How you doing, man? Goku, you changed your name again, dude? How many fucking accounts have you changed your name to at this point? Are these separate accounts, or are these like all the same account that you keep changing the name of? I mean, it's fine if that's what you want to do. It's sometimes just hard to keep track of. But either way, how are you doing, man? How you both doing tonight? Hey, Aaron. I'm hanging in there. It's been a rough week, but you know, we're getting signs slowly but surely that that things are gonna get better eventually. So I'm holding on to that. But fuck, I'm exhausted. Aren't you Goku, the guy who keeps saying hi, I'm new every time you drop by? I'm enjoying my hi. I'm fucking jealous, man. I wish I was high today. Like, dude, I know it's you. You've been here plenty of times. I wanted to get high tonight, but then I was like, I gotta wake up at fucking 9, so I can't do it. So tomorrow, though, I almost definitely will, because I need it. I need a break. I have been moving nonstop since Saturday. I have had no time to actually sit down and process things. Even when I have like 30 minutes to go starting this, I still finding something to do. I'm writing its character. Oh yeah? What kind of character you got? By the way, guys, just a heads up. I am going to call it short tonight because, like I said, I got a long day tomorrow, so I think I can spend at least at most 30 minutes online tonight. But yeah, I'll be on longer tomorrow. But anyway, back to the conversation at hand. What are you working on? It's 3:13. My room is pitch black. I'm scared. Well, you can use the light of the screen to find the light switch, and that would solve your problem. Do you take a little break from weed? Yes and no. I cut back, which means I'm not I still use it like 1 to 3 times a week, but it's more than like every fucking day, which is what I was doing for a good series of months there. No, I'm not giving up on it completely. I still have a lot of fun with it. I'm just trying to enjoy it more in moderation. Write a character who may never be published. He's a sharp, mean-spirited bully to bullies, but a sweetheart to those he loves. Talking to Phil is life-changing. He's both your best friend and your worst nightmare. He's the protagonist's loyal friend, always there for thick and thin, but when he needs help, no one shows up. That's betrayal turns him into the villain. Okay, so this is a bad guy we're talking about. He's the kind of guy who'd buy the most expensive popular sweets just to give them to girls on a diet. So we're talking like villain as in like murdery type of thing, or are we talking like villain as in more like teen drama? Light switch is outside my room, and I spilled Legos a few minutes ago. I'm too lazy to pick them up. Well, again, you can use the light of the phone, or turn on your phone's flashlight to get in there and dance around all that stuff. Brakes are coming back. Get your levels down, so that's good. Yeah, that's part of it. The other part was just like I legitimately think I was having a problem, because when I stopped taking it, I did have a hard time kind of bouncing back. It's more level now. It's like more easily manageable. But there was a time there was like, oh, I might actually be addicted to this shit. My phone is charging right now. Okay, Roger, look for whatever excuse you want to do to not do it. But I'm giving you solutions. If you don't want to do those solutions, that's fine. But just be honest about it. Okay, that's actually pretty funny. Sorry, I was looking at a comment. Every now and again, I have to check what comments are held back, and because I get a lot of I'm getting more and more comments every day, and a lot of them are from angry right-wingers. I take about a month break. Yeah, honestly, it's not a bad thing to do, if only just to kind of get your mind right a little bit. You don't realize how much it just kind of messes with your day-to-day until you stop taking it for a bit. But as far as addictions goes, it's one of the easier ones to cut back on. I know it's not addictive, but it's one of those things I kind of feel like everything can be addictive to some capacity. As long as something can trigger dopamine, it can be addictive to some capacity. Although weed is in the lower tier of that. Oh, a villainess. A villainess. Okay. That targets certain people, mostly targeting the most famous hero and villains, neutral character, but enemy to all. Okay, I don't know if you can have a neutral character and be enemy to all. I tried to get up, but I tripped in my bed and then fell in Legos, and I crawled to the light switch, and then 2 cats attacked me, and I turned on my lights. Oh, you're having fun with me, Roger. Okay, I will admit it is funny. I can laugh, I can laugh. Like, I'm trying to think, can you be a neutral character and still be enemy to all? I don't know, it seems kind of a little contradictory. But then I get where you're going for, like, a gray area kind of thing, like the Punisher or something. Punisher, or even like Deadpool to a lesser extent. My hands hurts now. Well, that's just the price you pay, Roger. I've been playing with ChatGPT. Yeah, like, I am very anti-AI stuff, but that being said, I won't pretend I haven't played around with it too, because it's fun. You know, there is some cool stuff you can do with it, and it's kind of fun to play around with, but at the same time, don't depend on it for anything past that. Which is a mistake a lot of people make. And it really annoys me. Do you do Facebook stuff? Not really anymore. I go on Facebook every now and again, just to check up on people, but for the most part, nah, I think I kind of outgrew... once Facebook kind of got more and more sketchy, I let more and more... a lot of people I cared about pulled away. Like, one thing you definitely don't want to use ChatGPT for, which a lot of people do, is you don't want to use it as your therapist. It is a terrible therapist. It will tell you the wrong things, and you will be worse in the long run if you rely on it for that kind of stuff. Too many people do that. Because ChatGPT doesn't, it just is predictive text. It tells you what it thinks you want to hear. Making Arthur Morgan cut wrestling promos on fucking Dutch. Okay, that's kind of fun, you know. I feel like if you just look at it as a toy, there's a bit less ambiguity around it, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, the whole thing's such a sketchy industry. And I guess Disney and a whole bunch of other big companies are taking Midjourney to court over copyright infringement, and I feel like if anyone can beat the fucking exploitative AI people, it's probably Disney. Also had John Wick cut a what? Ugh. God, I'm so fucking tired. I need a day where I can actually get good quality sleep. I haven't had good quality sleep in a very long time, and it's catching up with me. And I don't like it. I do not like it. Like, I finally almost had John Wick cut a promo on Jesus. Okay, interesting use. All right, why not? Ah, Christ. It's so hard to focus these days. My ADHD has been out of control. My attention span has gotten even shorter. My short-term memory has gotten shorter. And, you know, it's hard to focus now, and my short-term memory is getting shorter. And I would like to be able to, like, know what I'm doing day to day, and also my short-term memory is getting smaller. Okay, I'm done. I milked that joke long enough. Life is a wonder. It is indeed, Roger. Damn. It's like she can kill strong people, not for fun, but business. She will do it if she thinks it's good for her, but kills the orders if she thinks she's stupid. Okay, so my question for you is, if you're going to write a character, like, that's all the cool stuff she can do. Like, fight off enemies. Like, what is she like beyond that? Where are her flaws? Where are her weaknesses? What are her character vulnerabilities? That's the real meat and potatoes of a good character. If you can identify not just what they can do well, but what they can't do well, and use that as part of your story. Because one thing I think you definitely got to avoid, and this is for all writers, not you specifically, is you got to be careful not to get so attached to your character that they never face any conflict outside of like physical conflict. Like beating up the bad guys is not enough of a story hook. You actually have to have character development. You have to keep the story going. You have to make it interesting. Give them crises that involve them using skills that they lack. You know. Some of the most boring characters I've ever seen have been characters that are like, I'm Mr. Punch Dude, and I'm gonna beat up some bad guys. I'm totally perfect, but I'm also divorced, but this is never gonna come up again in the entire plot. My wife just couldn't handle me. That kind of shit. The Duke Nukem syndrome, I guess. So it's definitely a part I would encourage you to look into for your character as you're developing her. So like not everything is a decent concept. As you start to expand, you start adding more to it. I heavily encourage you to think about that and how you can humanize them more. And then when you get figured that out and kind of like the cast of sporting characters, the story practically writes itself at that stage. Like, what's the inciting incident? Who are the supporting characters? If she's an enemy to all, then who does she rely on? Does she have anyone to rely on? If she doesn't have anyone to rely on, how does she cope with the stress of what she does? Is she lonely? Is she angry? Does she feel betrayed, or does she feel isolated? There's all kinds of great questions you can ask there. And the more you kind of develop that internal world, the more interesting your stories will get. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you, man. How you doing? Goddamn. Ugh. Tired of being tired. Anyway, my little soapbox aside. Sometimes I jump a little too eagerly into giving unsolicited advice, and I apologize for that. It's 3:23 right now. Yeah, for me it's 12:24. So I think you're in the East Coast, if I'm not mistaken. But all I have to say, dude, is I think the character looks good. I think you have a strong foundation, and I'm excited to see how you build on it. That's what I'm more or less trying to say. And I apologize if it goes a little too far. Because I have a bad tendency to do that. Because I can sometimes be a know-it-all. Sometimes. Who thinks he knows what's best? That is a theory that has been tested for a good long time. But what are you going to do? Have you ever heard of a cult called the Family of God? I can't say I have. Aaron, tell me more about it. Fuck. Oh, God. Just gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Break's just around the corner. I have to keep telling myself that. Tomorrow I don't have any evening plans finally, so I can finally just rest, take a break, take a nice bath, get high as shit. Just detox from the stressful week it has been. Just gotta make it there. Just a little bit longer. And then we'll worry about the other stuff later. They're really creepy. Oh, yeah? I mean, I feel like most cults are. At least the ones that actually have any weight, you know? I'll look it up. I'm curious. The cult, the Family of God. Well, apparently it's a song by Bill Gaither Trio, but I don't think that's what you're referring to. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot on the internet. Now, are you sure it's called the Family of God? Is that what you said? Because I'm not seeing anything on this. Are you talking about Children of God? Like the one from 1968? You know, it's interesting because the first thing I see when I pull it up is Sex Cult Nun. Sex Cult Nun says discovering self-ownership helped her break free from the family. Okay, I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. It's called Family International now? Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I have what you're talking about. Author Faith Jones was raised in the cult group the Children of God, later known as the Family and the Family International. Yep, there you go. For most of her childhood, Jones lived in a commune in Makoa, an island off the coast of China. She spent hours reading doctrines, memorizing scripture, and chanting and praying. We grew up very isolated in a remote village doing sort of sporadic home study stuff and a lot of chores, she says. And she says there was sex. In 1968, Jones' grandfather, David Berg, founded the group around the belief that God is love and, taking a step further, that therefore sex is godly. Berg preached that men could practice polygamy and that women must freely share their bodies, regardless of whether they wanted to, because sex was their service to God. Jesus. Oh, hey, Allie. Good to see you. Grandpa considered sex to be a bodily need. Okay, I see where you got the creepy part. Jones said, it was deemed that within the group the women were supposed to share with men, even men they didn't like, in order to make sure that the men's needs were taken care of. Fuck. God, I hate culty people. I hate cults. At its height, the family had approximately 10,000 members living in 170 countries. Initially, the cult taught that girls become available for sex around 12. Oh my god. I'm going to stop there because I feel like that's a little too much. And I don't think we need to go deeper into this rabbit hole than we already have. But yeah, I take your meaning, Aaron. I completely understand what you're saying now. Yeah, no, the second it goes into like the pedophilia territory, I'm like, nope. I'm hanging in there, Allie. You know, just surviving, doing my best. As are we all. So, I guess telling her I do got to keep this stream relatively short tonight because I got to wake up at like at the crack of, not the crack of dawn. I got to wake up really early tomorrow, earlier than I want to, and it's just better if I just fucking get over it. The guy who played Johnny Cash and Walks the Line was in that cult. No shit. Okay, I haven't seen Walk the Line, but goddamn. God, it's one of like I get why men did it, because yeah, but like why did women prescribe to this? Cults work in mysterious ways. I agree to whatever you're reading. Yeah, no, it's about a sex cult that apparently has been around since 1968 and is still going. That basically puts women as objects to have sex with. That's pretty much it. Including children, which is, you know, great. Now I know that exists. Well, that's enough internet for one day. Scientology. No, that's a whole different cult. So was a lady that was married to Marilyn Manson. It was also in the cult. Okay, at that point, I think that woman just has a type. God. You know, like I was telling everyone else, like I was so close to REM sleep last night, and I finally reached it, and then my alarm went off, and I'm still very upset by that. It's like, does anyone remember the one that was in Planet Terror? She was, wait, who was it? Planet Terror. Like the one with the machine gun leg, or like one of the other supporting characters? Rose McGowan. Hold on. Yeah, apparently. Okay, well, I never watched this, but good to know? Question mark. She was in Charmed. Yeah, Charmed is also one I never watched either. The fourth sister. Yeah, Charmed was one of mine. I was not quite in the demographic when that was out. Okay, Allie seemed hesitant about something. What do you got for me? Scream. Oh boy. All right. It's like, does anyone remember Smallville back when that first came out? You know that CW show that was about Superman, but they didn't really have a great budget, so he very rarely did like Superman things that lasted longer than 5 seconds. She was the gal in the doggy door. See, I don't know any of this fucking the shit you guys are talking about. For anyone who does remember that show, is actually one I watched a lot when I was younger. Yeah, I like Smallville, and I still kind of like it now. As like it was a weird little superhero soap opera, and you know what? I watched every episode. Yeah, it's a game, right? It's a farm game for nuts. I know it. I've never seen the first Scream. I know it's one of the ones I need to go back and watch, but I haven't. I've never seen it personally. But anyway, for those who have seen Smallville, it was revealed that oh god damn it, fuck you, dude. Do you know that Naruto made a male harem to distinct a female enemy that he punched the living shit out of her? I haven't got to see Smallville, unfortunately. Well, either way, one of the main characters of that show, that was almost in every episode of the show, Allison Mack, was later revealed to be in a sex cult that she eventually got arrested for. And this is 100% real. You can look it up. Because I remember I heard it's like, there's no way. But yep, it's true. Allison Mack was in a sex cult. First Scream is the best one. I believe it. What's a harem? How old are you again, dude? Before I answer that. Let me see here. Okay, Mack was a member of NXIVM, an organization founded by Keith Raniere, and I'm 4. You're not 4. What age are you really? And headquartered in Albany, New York. Throughout his existence, advocates of NXIVW characterized it as a benign, multi-level marketing company selling professional personal development courses, while critics described it as a cult. Let me skip to the juicy stuff. Okay. In 2015, Raniere created a secret subgroup within NXIVW called Dominus Obsequious Sororium. There you go, DOS, of which Mack was allegedly second in command. DOS was structured as a pyramid group with Renee at the top, and the only man in DOS, with subordinates including Mack and others as Reigns' first-line DOS masters. DOS was ostensibly built around female empowerment, but mainly provided means to traffic women for Raniere's gratification. According to prosecutors, Mack and others recruited women by telling them they were joining a women's-only organization that would empower them, with Raniere's status as the leader of DOS concealed from new recruits. As a precondition for joining DOS, women were required to provide collateral, which included nude photographs, damaging information about family and friends, and rights to their assets. Recruits were told their collateral could be released if they left DOS or told anyone about DOS's existence. Recruits were also controlled in several other ways, including requirements to seek permission, physical isolation, forced participation in readiness drills, sleep deprivation, extremely restrictive diets, and being subject to corporal punishment. Ew, gross, dude. Don't even make that joke. Mack reportedly recruited 4 women into DOS, including India Oxenberg, the daughter of actress Catherine Oxenberg, as directed by Raniere. Mack and others required the recruits be branded with the symbol representing Raniere's initials, with the branding ritual following a script created by Raniere. Mack's recruits were unaware that the brand was composed of Raniere's initials and said that Mack had told them the brand was a symbol of the elements air, earth, fire, and water. Former NXIVW members Sarah Edmondson Stay in 2017 New York Times expose and a 2018 A&E special on cults details about DOS that she has been branded in initiation that she had been branded in initiation ceremony at Mac's house. In a New York Times interview, Mac claimed that the human branding was her idea. When a man has several women that they are married to, doesn't have to be married. And actually, a harem is a room they were housed in for women, concubines, and female relatives and servants. In modern day context, marriage is not part of the requirement. Well, sounds like a Rick and Morty episode. In reality, it's much more sketchy. Put it that way. And typically frowned upon. All right, arrest and conviction. On April 20th, 2018, Mac was arrested by the FBI in Brooklyn on charges of sex trafficking conspiracy, and forced labor conspiracy. The federal indictment accused Mac of recruiting women to join what's purported to be a female mentorship group that was, in fact, created and led by Keith Raniere. Mac was one of the top members of the highly organized scheme, which was designed to provide sex to Raniere. Prosecutors accused Mac of concealing Raniere's status as the leader of VOS as she coaxed recruits to provide highly damaging personal information, nude photos, and rights to personal assets. After Mac recruited women to join DOS under the guise of female empowerment, she starved women until they fit Raniere's sexual feminine ideals. Mac directly or implicitly required her recruits to engage in sexual activity with Raniere. In exchange, Mac received financial and other benefits from Raniere. On April 24, 2018, Mac was released from Metropolitan Detention Center, Brooklyn on a $5 million bond and held under house arrest under the custody of her parents in California. During Mac's arraignment proceedings, prosecutors also accused her of entering a sham marriage with Nick Klein to help Klein circumvent U.S. immigration laws. Damn. That was a cute little girl that was on Smallville. Seemed perfectly harmless. And here we are. Just goes to show you never fucking know. You just never fucking know. It's gotta pee. Who's got what? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Hello, fish cake. Hello, outpost. How you all doing tonight? Oh my god, I'm so tired. Ugh. Buffy's little sister died in real life. Oh, that's sad. That's really sad. Buffy's another one of those shows I gotta sit down and watch one of these days. I need to go to the bathroom, so I'll say goodnight. Alright, Allie, take care. Good luck. We're all counting on you. Ugh. Yeah, no, I know I gotta head off pretty soon. Yeah, sorry guys for those who just joined. Tonight's gonna be a short one. I will be back online tomorrow though. I'll hang out for another like 5-10 minutes or so, but I got an early day tomorrow, so I really have to take care of myself or whatever. It's such nonsense. Overrated, I say. Overrated. Who needs self-care and sleep and all these things that are supposed to keep you healthy and alive? What a fucking joke. Oh. Need an hour of sleep. I know, I resent it though. It has been my mortal and like I love the act of sleeping. I don't love that I can never stay asleep for as long as I actually want to. By the way, my characters don't do sex. She's that gender that seems all gender on track. So you mean asexual? That's not really a gender. That's a sexual orientation. Originally, she was in love with the best friend, but she got betrayed. Their life and death decisions. Yeah, the term you're looking for is asexual. It is not a gender. It's a sexuality. That's an important distinction. Because there's no gender that is just unattracted to all other genders. That's not a thing that exists. I've enjoyed it, but I got some running shoes, and I'm going to force myself to go on a run tomorrow morning. Woo, good for you. I'm not going to do that. You're lucky you can get my ass up before noon. Unless you're paying me. Then I will get up early. Goat the comic nerd. Fuck it, I'll take that. Woo! Represent. Anyway. God, I need to get back into working out. It's one of many things I gotta do to get my life back on track. The first of which is have more consistent income. Although some good news on that department. I think I got my debt problem situation figured out. It's gonna fuck my credit score for a while. Sing it? What do you want me to sing? I'm confused by your request. Yeah, my body's telling me I got to too. I know you guys do that thing where you just kind of jukebox to yourself a little bit. Not even about like any real song or anything. You're just kind of just riffing what you're doing. I think I saw like a Patton Oswalt routine about it once, and it's kind of been stuck in my head ever since. So when you're by yourself, you're just kind of fucking around. You're like, I'm gonna go to the computer and look up stuff on the internet. My pants are too tight. I hear your stomach ground. You can fucking hear that? Damn. I don't know if that's hunger, though. God, I didn't realize it was that noisy. Do you mean by or by the way? I also have that same question, fish cake. I was going to mention it, but now that's brought up. Why is that sound in my head? Why is anything? I don't know. Why are we here? What is our purpose in life? You'll have for that. Superman. Oh yeah, I'm very excited about Superman. I don't know if you guys heard. We do know a bit more about the plot now. Well, damn, Roger, you're just gonna dump on all the fun there. And it is like I saw a guy who kind of predicted this was all gonna be, so I also had like, okay, that sounds like something they would absolutely do. Turns out it's completely correct. Where it's going to be like a pushback against like corporate superheroes, so to speak. And what it means to actually be a hero and stuff like that. I'm really excited to see it. I trust at this point. I think James Gunn has earned my trust to pull it off, and so far everything I've seen of it proves that he understands Superman better than Snyder ever did. Batman is better. I mean, like, hey, you can like Batman and also like Superman. It's not one or the other. I just want to know if Batman exists in the DCU already. We actually already know that he does, Outpost, because we saw him in Creature Commandos. So, like, Superman, Batman, those characters already exist. Rich guy with armor and a green shiny rock defeated him. He didn't defeat him. He still won. But the story has to have conflict, you know? Can't... That's the issue. That's the issue I just have with Batman fans in particular, is because a lot of them think that Batman should be this unstoppable juggernaut who could be anyone with enough like prep time. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool for an anime, but it's not an interesting story. You gotta have stakes. You gotta have conflict. If Batman is just so cool, he beats up everybody right away and never has any issues, then like, that's fucking boring. That's a fucking boring story, which is why most Batman stories don't do it. Looks like you need coffee. I need a lot of things. My friend, and I don't know what those are half the time. But I'm trying to learn. Or relearn, I guess. Yeah, no, Creature Commandos is 100% canon. So yeah, anything involving that, you can rely on as a sure thing. That's why, what's his face? Rick Flag Sr. is also played by Frank. His name is Frank Grillo, I believe, right? Let me see. Creature Commandos. That should be the theme. I should write for the show. Let me see. Yeah, Frank Grillo plays Rick Flag Sr. in the show, and he's also appearing in the Superman movie as well as Peacemaker Season 2, which I will be curious to see how they handle the continuity in that. But I'm also of the mind that I don't really think continuity matters. So, yeah, I know he's also Crossbones. Hey, Allie, welcome back. Oh, crap. And unfortunately, I have to go. So, because I'm already past what I wanted to be online for. So, sorry, guys. I have to cut this one short. I will be back on tomorrow, though. So, if you want to keep chatting, feel free to join us. What? Creature Commandos. While fighting. I mean, they kind of do. That's why I got the underwear on the outside. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate that, Roger. Have a good one.